We are now officially in record mode. This is the BNSA $1 Million Mastermind bonus call with the famous, beloved Dr. Willie Jolly and D Jolly power couple, CSP CPAE. We are so excited. Not only do these individuals inspire us just within NSA, but especially Black NSA because they look like us. They love us, they care about us, they're on the board of advisors, but the story, the way that they have built this empire together, it just means the world. So we get a chance for them to pull back the curtains and just share with us how they built this wonderful empire while living and believing in the Think and Grow Rich principles. So take it away.
Well, I'm honored to be on here with you. I hope you can hear me okay. And I'm excited by being able to be a part of this program. And I'm excited because I get to be on here with my wifey. For those who don't know, that's my wifey over there. And that's D Taylor Jolly.
Hello, everyone.
And we are newlyweds. June 28th, we'll celebrate 32 years of marriage.
Wow.
32, there you go. And so she's cute, I love her, and she turns me on. Anyway, we got our new book. Let me just, everywhere I go, I tell people about our new book coming out, marriage book. People want to know how we've been together for 32 years. We haven't had an argument in over 30 years, and they want to know how. Well, there's some principles we learned. So it's called Make Love, Make Money, and Make It Last. So we're trying to make it last with lots of folks, okay? All right, so we ready? Marquessa, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Right, D is good. Let's rock and roll. Napoleon Hill's 17 Principles of Achievement. For those who don't know, I got my doctorate. I'm actually a real doctorate. I mean, I got a doctorate, a real deal doctorate. It wasn't honorary. It was an earned doctorate, and I got it in 2013 from the California Graduate School of Theology with an emphasis on faith-driven achievement. And part of that whole concept of what I shared with the president of the school was when I said I want to do this and I want to do something different from a theological background of how to have your faith empower you to have greater success and achievement. And what's big about that is Napoleon Hill talks about faith in Think and Grow Rich. He talks about a lot of things about faith, but he also talks about you must achieve. And I think that's where that seed was planted for me to be able to go to the president and say, here's what I want to do my doctoral program on in my dissertation. So it's all about achievement. And that's what we want to talk about today with the 17 Principles of Achievement. And I'm honored that I was invited, asked, chosen to be one of the 53 thought leaders from around the globe to celebrate Napoleon Hill's writing this book. And I think it was the 50th anniversary or something, whatever what date was. They were doing a big celebration, and they were choosing people from around the world who they knew had been impacted and influenced by the writings and the thinking of Napoleon Hill with Think and Grow Rich and the 17 Principles of Achievement. And I'm honored that I was one. And there's only 2 African Americans who were in that group. So I'm grateful to be one of them.
Excellent. Oh, this is fabulous. Well, I have your bios in front of me. I'm going to do a shorter version because if I read the whole thing, it would take all of our time. So let me start with Dr. Willie Jolly, CSP CPAE. For those.
No, start with D Taylor Jolly.
Oh, let me go to D first. All right, that's the one. All right. Now, guys, I've talked to D a lot. And we've become closer lately, which I love because she's on my email list. And whenever I send out a really good email, she replies back and tells me thoughts. And even gets on my calls from time to time. And I feel so honored. MED. Now, D. Taylor Jolly is the Chief Operations Officer. Guys, this means she handles the money. Hello.
That's very important.
That's right. Because without money, come on now. Without
nothing happens.
You have no business. Oh,
correct.
We need to say that more. For Willie Jolly Worldwide. As the COO, she handles the administrative and financial operations. Plus, as the managing partner of the Jolly Training and Development Division called Jolly U. I like that. She manages the research, design, and delivery of programs focused on workforce development for associations, corporations, and government agencies. Dee is the former training director for the National Association of Home Builders, former trainer for AMA, which we all know, former educational consultant for Washington Post Educational Services Division, and a former award-winning high school teacher. She holds a BA in political science from Howard University. Howard! Oh, well.
HU.
No.
And a master's degree in education curriculum design from the Catholic University of America. When not traveling with her husband, Dr. Jolly, or managing training programs, she volunteers in her church and is active in her community. Yay! We love you, Dee!
You made it sound good.
Now, I'm just going to pick a couple of things because, Dr. Willie Jolly. First of all, there's some folks on that may not know that CPAE stands for Speaker Hall of Fame. And I don't know if this is a side note, I don't know if y'all know this, but we don't have a Black woman in the Speaker Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
I noticed that. Yes.
Okay. Woo! That kind of hurts a little bit, just saying.
I've been nominating. I don't know that I nominated.
Okay, good. So we got to change that. I know some of y'all are like, what about Lenora? She's a cabinet winner. All right, so there are many motivational speakers out there, and everyone knows this, but there's only one incomparable Dr. Willie Jolly. He's been described simultaneously, almost got all my words right except for that one, as one of the best speakers in the world, an award-winning singer, best-selling author, #1 rated radio and TV personality. Did you guys hear him at last year's conference? All I'm saying is hello. Dr. Willie Jolly has achieved remarkable heights in his career, having come from humble beginnings of being a fired singer who was replaced by a karaoke machine. He is going on to be named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by 175,000 member Toastmasters International. Only 50 have ever achieved this honor, not even me, including Nelson Mandela, Margaret Thatcher, General Colin Powell, Zig Ziglar. And in 1999, I didn't know this, you were named a Motivational Inspirational Speaker of the Year. What can I skip to? I already talked about the Hall of Fame. Big deal with, and by the way, I don't know if you talk about this in here, but he's on Sirius Radio. You've been on there for how long?
10 years.
10, what? I didn't know that.
Yeah, 10 seasons.
10 seasons. He was behind Oprah, y'all. Remember when Oprah was on Sirius? And so now Willie is the Oprah Sirius. That's right. And I mean, we love you. We're so proud of you. And on tour with his buddy Les Brown. Y'all have heard of him before.
That little fella named Les Brown. I think y'all have heard of that fella.
Yeah, just a couple of times. And let me see. And let's go. And you mentioned you hold a doctorate of ministry degree in faith-driven achievement from the California Graduate School of Theology, a master's degree in theology from Wesley Theological Seminary, and a BA in psychology and sociology from the American University. And Dr. Jolly resides with his wife in DC. Yay! Woo!
Wonderful.
Yes, these guys, it's crazy. I'm gonna make sure you guys get a copy of his bio so you can read it from up to down. But we want to jump in it, guys. Put your questions in Q&A. We're gonna promote you, let you ask your own questions. So if you put it in there, make sure you put it in chat if you don't want me to promote you. But guys, we want to dive into it. Talk to us. I said we would let you guys lead this. But one question, because I don't remember ever having both of you guys here, so I feel like that's special. How did you create this wonderful power team in this business? That's one of the principles in the book. Don't know which one, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere, right?
Yeah, we talk about in the book that we, as I said, the book is Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And we talk about how we created this business model that we work together, we travel together, we do everything together. And part of that is because we enjoy being with each other. And second is I chose really well. Okay. Now that sounds like a passing thought, but I actually made a conscious decision, along with the fact that I loved her and that she was smart. I had lots of relationships before, but this was something different. I realized she would be a good partner. And so I tell people, you know, you got to choose well who you're going to marry and who you're going to spend time with, because they got to be more than, it's not just a love relationship. Chapter number 10, marriage is not more than a love relationship. It's a business relationship, because we do business together. Now, whether you're doing business together, it doesn't make a difference, but you still got to deal with finances. You got to deal with things that you own together, and there's a business relationship even above and along with the love relationship.
I think you should mention chapter 1 says, be friends first. So
Friends first. Be friends first.
Before he was my lover.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah, you know, this is one of the things about my wife. Let's let y'all know, anything might come out of her mouth. Anything might come out of her mouth. She has no filter.
Oh my God.
Hey, promise, I love that.
Anyway, so I'm grateful. So we've been working together for over 20 years, and I've been speaking for 25, and she's been running the company. And here's another thing was interesting. A lot of people say, well, how do you get your wife involved? Well, first of all, I had to sell her on the potential and possibilities of us working together, because she did not want to be an entrepreneur. Her parents were entrepreneurs, and she was like, they don't ever take a vacation. They work 7 days a week. They were, I mean, that's the truth. They worked they had a family business, a family store during the week, Monday through Saturday, and on Sundays he was a preacher. He was a pastor, and she was the first lady of the church. So they never took a vacation, and she said, I don't want that. I don't want to be working like that all the time. But she didn't
work more.
But she didn't realize there was one ingredient there that she didn't notice, that they worked together and they enjoyed their time together. Yes. And they would much rather be together working and having that time and building a legacy than they would be to being apart. So once we got that, first I had to convince her, sell her on entrepreneurism, sell her on how this would be good for her to have more time with our son and be able to have more time on his school activities. So I finally convinced her, and so we've been able to do it.
You should go back when you say you sold me.
Yeah.
Part of that selling process was not that you needed to hear it, even though I did, because I was resistant. But he would say, I heard this piece of information. Would you listen to it and tell me what you think?
Yep.
And in the car, I think I had a common gear when I came to the marriage with the common gear with the stick shift. And we would listen to, I think it was The Strangest Secret. He said,
Strangest Secret.
Listen to this tape. I was like, okay. So you're in the car. It's a 2-seater car. You know, what are you going to do? And then it started The Strangest Secret. So we would listen to it up and down the highway, over and over and over. The Strangest Secret. And so it went from The Strangest Secret to just all of these other tapes then, not DVDs or links, but gradually I began to understand why, because he had always been an entrepreneur. And I began to see my parents' entrepreneurship differently. And what we attempt to do now, different than what my parents did, was to explain to our kids and our grandkids, this is why we're doing what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And we enjoy being together because my parents, I saw them working. We had a grocery store, we had a laundromat, we had a hair salon, we had a barbershop. And then on the weekend, my father was a pastor. Mm. But they enjoyed each other. I know, because you see something doesn't mean you really understand the thinking or the detail behind it. And it becomes very important to not just see with the physical eye, but to ask questions and to delve in so that you understand what's going on. Right. So now, being in business with my husband, it's being an entrepreneur is challenging, period. But we're in the boat together, so we can't sink.
Right. Mm. So we've had a great ride. We go all over the world. We just got back from Dubai, and had a great time there speaking for Johnson and Johnson. And hey, Dee, turn that TV off for me, please, sweetie pie, because that's distracting me. Because I keep looking at you and I get seeing that TV. She got so much stuff in her office. I mean,
No, I don't.
she got the bling bling. She got more stuff in her office. And I'll give you an example. And I'm going to talk about a lot of things. We know we want to get to the Napoleon Hill, but there's some things that I think that speakers need to hear. Robert asked, how do you create or share a business with your spouse without overwhelming their dreams with your own? That's a great question, because I think that you have to make sure that each participant is living their dream. Now, it just so happens that my wife's dream is be part of my dream. But I'm always committed and encouraging her to do the things that she has an interest in doing, like education. She loves education. She loves reading. She loves writing. So I encourage her to do that. And so we work together. Now, the answer, Robert, is that when you set up your goals and dreams, each one of you should have a list on a piece of paper and say, dreams, here's my dreams and here's her dreams. Where do they intersect? And where can we help each other? Where can I do to help her, and vice versa? And so it has to be some mutuality there. And if you do that, if you have that mutuality, I think you'll be much more happy. You don't want to force anybody to live your dream.
It will not last.
It won't work. Nor do you want to give up on their dreams. So it's a give and take and a mutuality, but I think it has great potential. And we've seen it in our marriage. We've seen a number of others who we've worked with who are working and living their dreams together. And so we're grateful for that.
Right. What if one party's dreams are more clear than the next? One is they're not 100% sure. They're still kind of figuring some things out. And then there's one that has maybe a bit more drive about certain things, and they're just they know where they want to go.
Well, I think that part of that is selling your spouse on your dream. I had to sell her. She did not want to do that. I had to sell her. Mm-hmm. And I say you got to sell them on the potential and possibilities of following one path first. You know, it's not that we're not gonna ignore the other path. Let's just focus on the one that's ready today. And let's focus on that. Let's go with that. And let's build some momentum there. Look, I always like to say it like this. People wonder why and how I do all I do. I've got a speaking business. We've got best-selling books, more books to come. I've got syndicated radio with Sirius XM. I got daily radio. I've got television. I've done 2 PBS specials. I've done daily television here in Washington. We've got a lot of stuff on my plate. I got music. I got a music company that we're launching, a music label. And so how do you do that? And this is why I want to focus on what you're talking about. If you ever go to the circus where there's a man spinning 7 plates on 7 sticks, you've ever seen that?
Yeah.
Notice if you notice it, how he does it, he always starts with 1 plate first. He gets that plate spinning really, really good. And once that's spinning good, then he starts the second one. And then all he has to do every now and then is go back to the first one and touch it. And he keeps that second one. He gets that spinning good. Then he starts the third one. Then he just touches the second and the first. And vice versa, all the way up to 7 plates. That's what you got to do with this career thing you want to do. Start with 1. Get it spinning. Get it moving. Get it making money. And then once that's spinning and making money, then add another one. That's when you can add some more.
Let me add there. I think from what I hear him saying is with your partner, wherein do they fit? You have to be able to at least give them the big picture. Willie is a big picture idea. I am a detailed person. So he had to be able to say, well, here's what I see. And out of here's what I see, I had to be able to identify how I could be helpful, something that I could do naturally. So I'm naturally a detailed person. I'm an educator by training as well as by nature. So I could pick up and do. I understood his speaking part because I could teach and taught presentation skills. So the arena was not foreign. And plus I managed finances when I worked with my parents' business. So I was able to take on a couple of things naturally.
Right.
The finance part and the training part. Now it's hard because I work the training part around his schedule, not unless we're doing a presentation that doesn't involve him specifically. But your spouse or your significant other has to find that peace in what you're doing where they can be confident and do it well.
Okay.
Right. Okay, Tania, is it Tania? Tanya? What is it? Miss Miller. Miss Morris, Miss Morris.
Yes.
Ms. Morris, she asks, what advice will you give to aspiring speakers to grow their business? Well, the first thing is NSA. Just tell you the truth. NSA, and I'm not on a board at this point. I've been on the national board. I've been a local president. I was the first African American elected to the board of directors ever. So I've been around a while, but it changed my life. People say, well, wasn't it because you knew Zig Ziglar, and wasn't it because you were friends with Les Brown that had the impact? That had an impact, but that was all due to NSA. Most of the big events that have happened in my life, whether it's the PBS special, was my first book deal, my first national book deal, all emanated from a relationship I developed at NSA. Now, part of NSA is about what you're going to learn. You learn the newest trends and the newest information. Marquessa, you're doing a great job of the things you're doing on the VOE. But that's just a part. The bigger part to me is the network. It's the network. It's who you know and how you develop friendships. Keith Harrell, bless his heart, he passed away a couple of years ago, but he's the one who got me speaking in the corporate arena because I was speaking to schools. He got me hooked up with Marriott, where I started doing my first big corporate events. And I did lots of Marriott after he introduced me and got me in the door. And then there were others who have had an impact. So these are people who will blow your career into the stratosphere, and that's why you want to have the relationship. I'll give you a great example is Fly Girl. Fly Girl called me 2 weeks. Called me 2 weeks before one of the conventions. It was in San Diego, and I said, "How can I help you? I want to be a speaker." I said, "Okay." She said, "I'm just leaving the Marines. I was first woman combat pilot." I said, "Well, great. Why don't you come to NSA?" She said, "When is it?" I said, "It's 2 weeks." She said, "I can't afford that." I said, you can't afford not to come. And I said, "Just come. And if you come, I'll hook you up and I'll introduce you." And she came. I introduced her around. I introduced some speakers bureaus. Fly Girl, she blowing up around the world because she came to NSA. And I know, I can't talk about her fee, but I know it's very, very nice. Very, very good. Very, very good.
Tanya, why am I going crazy right now?
Because you just said that. You just said the network, you can't afford not to go, so you definitely validate that. But Willie, I have a lot of your stuff, so I know what you're talking about is real. Do you recommend Toastmasters as well?
All right, I'm gonna tell you. Here's what you do. I've got a list of 5 or 6 things that I tell people to do, and it's all on a page that I created because I get probably, I had 2 today who I talked to, 2 people today. Every day is 2 to 3 people who call or email. "I want to be a speaker. I've seen you on the Get Motivated tour," or "I've heard you on Sirius XM. I want to be a speaker." So we created a page because we get hundreds of people annually. So go to youcanspeaknow.com. youcanspeaknow.com. A lady called me today. She said, "Can I take you to lunch?" Well, I don't have time to go to lunch anymore. I just don't have time. I used to do it to everybody who said I want to go to lunch. I'd go to lunch with them. And what I realized after doing it a while, they really didn't get to the meat of the potatoes. I mean, we'd just be peeling back the first layer when I had to leave. After an hour and a half, 2 hours, I got to go. So what we did was we created a lunch and learn day at my office, and people flew in from around the country, and we recorded it. It's a 3-hour training on how to get started in the speaking industry, how to market. Because see, most people who go to speaking things, they want to know how to speak, how to do the mechanics. But then once they get that, how do they make money from it? Yes. So yes, Toastmasters is part of it. Here's the difference between Toastmasters and NSA. Toastmasters teaches you how to speak.
Right.
NSA teaches you how to get paid to speak.
Okay.
All right. But But there are more things that we'll tell you. There's some books you should get, with some resources, some free stuff that's on that page. And then there's that training. You can get it in a download or on CDs, 3 hours of me telling you what to do to jumpstart your speaking business that I would do. I tell people over lunch, as well as what we would tell people like Della Toro and others who have now blown up, because these principles work if you work them.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Anya. All right, so we're gonna let John register, and then we're gonna get into some more stuff here. But right before I do, I want to just share something with you in terms of relationships and NSA and all of that. Yes, it's an investment to go to the conference, but it can make all the difference in the world. And this is an example of one of those investments that Willie and Jolly know a lot about. I'm trying to, am I sharing the right thing? You guys, oh, I'm not sharing the right thing. Make sure I'm sharing the right thing here. Stop share. There's so many things. Give me a second here. Share screen. I want to share this. I want to make sure I get it right. Boom. Okay. Oh, no, here it is. I found it, I think. All right, share screen. Here we are. So check this out real quick. Andrea has a message for you.
I love her. I love her. Now let me tell people what that means. We have an inside joke. That's one of the big speakers bureaus in America. One of my dear friends, and we talk about. We started doing that because we just believed that we had the potential to be like a stampede. And so every time she sees me, she makes this horse sound. And I do the same. So I love her. That's Andrea Gold from Gold Star Speakers Bureau. And she's awesome. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I've been able to maintain this business for 25 years. And I believe that truly the best is yet to come, and the next iteration is going to be even bigger, because I'm constantly reinventing myself. I started my speaking business 25 years ago as a youth speaker, speaking to schools, and I did over 1 million youth in the first 5 years of my speaking business. I mean, I was doing 2 and 3 schools a day sometimes. I go in cities and we do just like crazy. I was traveling a lot. I was speaking a lot. I was doing lots of programs. I did my first PBS special, which was a youth special. And by the way, if y'all got youth who are driving you crazy, you need that youth PBS special. It will motivate and inspire and change and transform your youth. Anyway, did youth for the first 5 years, and then I started doing colleges, and did colleges for 1 year, and then from colleges, trade associations, and then Keith Harrell intervened and helped me get into corporations. I started doing hotels. I did Marriott's and Hyatt's, and learned how to speak a message that would reverberate with corporate groups. And then from there, it continued to grow from there to more network marketers, and then bigger corporations. Then Ford Motor Company heard about me, and I wrote the books, and Ford invited me to be a part of their program, and that had a great impact. I worked with Ford in 2006, 2007, 2008, and 2009. They were able to reject a government bailout, and the Detroit Free Press wrote about Ford's secret weapon, a guy named Willie Jolly, and it really was Alan Mulally, but I'll take any credit that anybody gave me. But Alan Mulally was the genius. I was just a player, but I motivated the folks to take action. And then Ford, after that, it came out in a paper. GM called, then Walmart, then Verizon, then Prudential. We started going overseas and doing companies and organizations around the world. So it's been a great process, but I keep reinventing myself, from a youth speaker to a college speaker to a credit union speaker or trade association speaker to a corporate speaker to a hospitality industry, and kept reinventing. My next reinvention is going to be, how do I tie all of that into my faith message, and how do we take this to a worldwide platform? So lots of big, great stuff coming. Do you want to say something, baby?
Nope, you covered that.
All right, okay. So let's talk about these principles. Boom.
I wanted John to ask his question real quick.
Oh, John, please, go ahead.
John, make sure you unmute.
All right, thanks. Hey, Dr. Jolly and Dee,
There's
thank
my
you.
man. There's my man. What's up, man?
How you doing?
How you doing? I'm fine. Thank you.
You all both are a blessing. I just want to let you know that you help so many people. And for those that are on the line that have not met this amazing power couple, get to meet them at the convention. A couple things for you. First of all, when you talk about the family business and keeping that together, I'm just now starting out and trying to do have my daughter actually come on board. She's in college right now. She's in strategic communications.
Excellent.
She is just got an internship from Greeley, Colorado. She's going to be in Washington, D.C. at the Multicultural Media and Telecom Council.
Wow.
So we got her doing that. She's coming in June.
Okay.
Would love to have her kind of connect with both of y'all just to kind of learn a little bit more.
Okay.
But when, for me, for those that are on the line, when did you know that your business model was going to work?
Sure. Great question. I don't know if we know yet.
Can I say, let me just give you the short of it. So I crunched the numbers, right? So the first year we did taxes together, we were newly married. I've always done taxes, dealt with the CPA and everything. And he brought me, I said, bring me the receipts for the business. I know I can deal with this. He brought me all of his receipts in a brown paper bag. So that's the beginning of building Willie Jolly Worldwide. The receipts in a brown paper bag. We had no place to go but up. So that first year we made a profit, and that by God's grace. You know how much it was? It was $67,000, and I can't even tell you what it was. But he was so busy speaking everywhere, and you know what? He was making $250. So sometimes he would get 3 presentations a day, 250, 252. That's $750. But he was hustling. And sometimes people make the distinction, well, what is the difference when you know you have a hustle versus, I don't know if it ever ends. I don't know, honestly, if it ever ends. Some things become much more, you develop systems so you're not stumbling. But a lot of those systems I developed because Willie is ADD and ADHD. That's just the truth. So
Anything might come out of her mouth. Anything might come out.
We love it.
That's just the truth. So that is why he is able to easily go network with, oh, Dee, this is 6 o'clock. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we've got to go to a dinner. Oh, I forgot to tell you, we need to go to this reception. So our children are grown now. So for the last however many, more than 5 or 6 years, I've been traveling with him constantly. But what I learned is that I had to have some systems in place around his constant chaos. Now, for people who are extroverted, they never met a stranger, they can talk to the wall and make the wall smile, that's okay. For those of us on the other side of the table who are introverts, and I am a classic introvert, I have to have a conversation with myself every day. Because as an educator, I understand all the pieces. It's just I'm very comfortable being on the sideline, collecting the information, doing all those other things. But because of the space I find myself in, I had to set up systems so that I could track what was going on. That's why I can tell you how much money there was. I can tell you that your chart of accounts should look like this if you are in business and in a speaking business. There are some similarities for any business for your chart of accounts. Then you have to find the right kind of business coach or your accounting company or your CPA that understands the speaking business. Because there's certain things that are allowable as a write-off, and there's certain things that are not.
All right, Dee, hold on.
Is the suit allowable?
Dee,
now he's going to say,
Dee,
you're
Dee,
getting into the weeds. See, there you go. Say it.
First of all, show everybody. You talk about me being ADHD and show them your fingernails. Show them your fingernails.
I love it.
Is that crazy or what? Just as crazy as can be.
I'm stealing that.
That's just crazy as can
That is because I am expressing myself. At this point in my life, I am in rebellion mode. Now, let me just say.
Let me
Let me say this, please. Between 9 and 6, he is my boss. Let me make that perfectly clear. I am always trying to influence him, always. But after I have done my best to influence, I've sweet talked him, I've reasoned with him, and he said, "Oh, this is what we have to do, D." Everybody's on board. So how do I get to express myself? How do I get to rebel? Rebellion hair, rebellion fingernails, and I said, "Yes, sweetheart."
look at them glasses. Look at the glasses. Look.
Love that part of it.
All right.
Is that helpful for you? Oh, really?
John, let me give you one more answer to that question. Business model, how do you know it's going to work? You don't. And I wish I could tell you that I had the answer, but I don't know. I just keep trying. I keep trying. I keep working. I keep hustling. And, you know, Naomi Rhodey said something to me that I love. She said her dad told her, make good choices and then make your choices good. Okay. And so if I made the choice, the good choice with my wife, and now I'm gonna make that choice good by working to make sure that she has a certain lifestyle. So we make some choices. Some of the stuff we tried didn't work. Some of the models we tried didn't work. And yet we keep shifting and trying and tweaking. And sometimes we'll hit dead ends. Sometimes we'll have a bad quarter, but we just keep trying.
Keep trying, but then you always have money saved. You said, like, what, well, how?
Yeah. But D, that's
my nature. I'm
yeah,
like,
but that's the nice part. You got money saved. But that time when we didn't have no money saved, but I kept trying so that we could have some money saved. So I mean, we want you to be financially fiscal. But sometimes you just gotta hustle your way through. You gotta sell your way through. You gotta get on the phone and call people and look for an opportunity. You gotta sell those.
for every way to save a penny.
All right,
I said, you know, let me do the extreme.
And I'm trying to sell out the back of my car. I'm selling books out the back of my car. To this day, I carry a book with me everywhere I go, so that if somebody wants one, I got one.
Story. I Get Motivated. We're in California. We were going to have a reception after the event where Willie would talk, people would buy food and buy product, and the restaurateur said, no, you can't sell. So you know what we did? Ended up selling out the trunk of the car, outside in the parking lot.
This was just last year, folks. This wasn't 20 years ago. This was last year. We were selling books in the parking lot. People, come on outside. They won't let us out on their property. No problem. Come on outside. I got a book out here for you. We made a lot of money that night. So, John, hustle. Just if there's anything I want you to remember, that the business model will develop as you make your choices good. Okay, I hope that helps.
Thank you.
Thank
John.
you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is why we love you guys. Carol just put in the chat room. Love you, D and Willie. You always make time for NSA and Black NSA and have for years. Everyone isn't as giving as the two of you are. Thank you.
Well, I love Carol Copeland Thomas. I tell you, Carol is awesome, and we've been friends for a long time, so I'm grateful.
Here's the question. We created the Black NSA $1 Million Mastermind. This was a brainchild of Ann McNeil, who in her
I love Ann.
Of construction millionaire. So
yes.
She knows her stuff, and she brought it to Black NSA and said, this is my gift. I want us to do this. So the leadership team, the BNSA executive leadership team, put together this mastermind, and we wanted to go through the entire book, Think and Grow Rich. And we've learned so much. We got one more week in the mastermind. This is going to continue. This is a fundraiser for Black NSA. We would love you guys to spend the rest of the call talking to us about how do you mix the principles that we're learning about, you know, how to really make money a true goal, how to really be hungry and make it happen. How do you roll all that into building that speaking empire. So you got it.
Okay. All right. Well, first of all, I see Charlotte asked a question, and I'll just say to Charlotte, I think I talked a little bit about reinventing myself and how do you do it. You keep growing. Just like you grew from kindergarten to first grade. You keep growing as you learn more, as you stretch. So just don't be afraid to grow and keep stretching. Now, in terms of the Think and Grow Rich, this is the product. It's called 17 Principles of Success. Inspirational interviews on how to put the Napoleon Hill philosophy to work in your life. I'm honored that I was one of the people who were asked to be on here. A few of the people are Glenna Salisbury, Joel Weldon, Shep Hiking, Don Hudson, Joe Dudley, he was on the other African-American, Joe Condrill, Elizabeth Jeffries, Ken Blanchard, Naomi Rhodey, Don Green, Dilip Alabasekara, Tony Alessandra, Diana Bua, Doc Blakely, Harvey McKay, Ben Newman, Mark Sanborn, Terry Paulson, Tom Hopkins, Mark Victor Hansen, Weldon Long, Ed Foreman, Willie Jolly, Jeffrey Gittimer, Nito Cobain, John Patrick Hickey, Brian Tracy, John Gordon, Danny Cox, Jim Tunney, Bob Danzig, Captain Charlie Plum, Roger Crawford, Art Holst. I mean, just a who's who. I'm honored that I was one, but here's why it was happening. Because I've been telling people for years the impact that you heard it say it earlier, The Strangest Secret, which was an audio by Earl Nightingale on the principles of Think and Grow Rich, how it changed his life. So we would listen in the car on Strangest Secret over and over again, and then we would read the book Think and Grow Rich every year, every year, every year. I thought I was an oddball because I read it everywhere until I talked to Joe Dudley, who if you don't know who Joe Dudley is, look him up. Joe Dudley was one of America's first hair pioneers, multi-million-dollar business, started at his kitchen table and built Dudley Hair Care Products, multi-millionaire, 80 years old, and I believe next weekend or this weekend celebrating his 80th birthday and having a big event in North Carolina. I would be out of the country, or I'd be there. But anyway, Joe said his employees, they had a group reading of Think and Grow Rich every day as a group, and they had the group reading. He said he read Think and Grow Rich 100 times to get rich. He said he read it the second 100 times to stay rich. And he read it one more 100 times so that he would make sure that there were no slip-ups so he would ever fall out of being rich. And it's incredible how he talks about the principles and how they change his life. So that is you're welcome, Charlotte. That is why it's important to talk about these principles in the package, because they are so profound, and each one of those people tell how the book has impacted and influenced their thinking and their lives, and then they tell how they took that to the next level. Nito talks about how he took it from this level to that level. Jeffrey Gittimer from this level to that level. I mean, and the principles, I listen to this thing, it's like awesome. It's awesome. So what are the principles? We talk about the principles, Napoleon Hill's 17 principles for success, of achievement, I mean. And they are, first, definiteness of purpose. Why are you here? What's your purpose? You got to get clear on your purpose, a definiteness of purpose. I have a music piece that I listen to music, my motivational music. And I encourage people to go to williejolly.com/gift. williejolly.com/gift. On that page, you will get a free copy of Think and Grow Rich, but you'll also get some of my XM interviews, but some of my music. One of my songs is a piece called The Power of the Sky's the Limit. And it talks about purpose. There were three guys. There were three guys. They were laying bricks. They asked the first one, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm laying bricks." They asked the second, "What are you doing?" "I'm just making $10 an hour. That's all I'm doing." They asked the third one, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm building a cathedral that'll last forever." It's about your purpose. And that's why you got to get clear on your purpose. Because without a purpose and a plan, people drift aimlessly. They drift, Zig used to say, a wandering meanderer. You're not clear where you're going. Next is a mastermind alliance. You got to get a mastermind of people who have like thinking. You don't want to hang around negative people, only people who go on places. My wife is part of my mastermind. My son is part of my mastermind. But I still have a mastermind group where we get together and we talk about ideas. Don't talk about people, don't talk about things. We talk about ideas. And we encourage each other, because with the two or more minds working in perfect harmony, as they said in the book, for the attainment of a common definite objective or goal, you grow an additional mind, and you'll get ideas. Now, I was telling somebody the other day, why is that important? Because everybody has scotoma. What is scotoma? It's a blind spot. And there's an old saying, it's hard for you to see the picture when you're in the frame. So you need some time to have somebody outside the frame to tell you what's going on in your life. So Les Brown is why he's the greatest speaker on the planet, pound for pound. Sometimes we'll do an event. He'll call me after, what did I do? What could I do better? I said, man, you were one. He said, I know I can do better. Tell me something I can improve on. And that's because he knew you couldn't see the picture when you're in the frame. So a mastermind alliance of people who are of the same. Applied faith. That's what I really love. Because faith is a state of mind through which your aims, desires, plans, and purposes may be translated to their physical and manifested into financial equivalent. But you got to have faith, and then you got to use faith. Faith is a noun and a verb. Come on, somebody. That's why my doctorate was so critical to me, because it's about faith-driven achievement. Faith is a noun and a verb. You got to have faith, and you got to use faith, and you got to walk in faith. You got to faith your way through some situations. We're going through that right now as we grow our business next level, starting a publishing company, starting a record company, don't know what we're doing, but we're faithing our way through it, okay? And then learning as much as we can. Going the extra mile. Going the extra mile is number 4, and that's the action of rendering more and better service than that which you were presently paid. Told my son when he was a new lawyer, he's a lawyer, and he got his first job out of law school as a contract lawyer. And I said, son, you know, here's what you ought to do. Be excellent when you go into this job. So he came from first day of the job and said, Dad, this is a contract. And after I finish whatever this specific task is, I'm out. And so he said to everybody, it's supposed to be a 4-week contract. And everybody told me when I got there for my first day, slow your road. Take your time, drag your feet. And if I don't, he said, you're going to be out of here and you won't have this job. Maybe you can stretch this 4-week contract if you slow your road and drag your feet into 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months. That's what we do. He said, but Dad, I can't. They all said, everybody said that to me today. What? And you always tell me to be excellent. You always tell me to go the extra mile. You always tell me to do more than I'm paid to do. What should I do here? I said, here's what you do, son. I know what they're talking about. I understand. Here's what you do. Do exactly what I told you to do. In fact, if they give you 4 weeks to do it, see if you can do it in 3 weeks. With the same level of expertise, the same level of excellence. Be outstanding. Stand out from the crowd. That's what outstanding means. Stand out from the crowd. And he did. And he was out before the given time. He was out in like 3 weeks in a day. And they all thought he was crazy. They laughed at him. But that next week, the director of the program at the tippity top called him and said, we had our eye on you. You were different. You kept your head down. Everybody else was taking 2-hour lunch breaks and 2-hour coffee breaks. They think we don't notice it. But we see him. He said, but you did it by the book and you went at it. You were excellent. That's why we want you to come back as their supervisor. See, folks, there's no traffic jam on the extra mile. So when you get paid to speak, if they pay you $100, give them a $300, $400 speech, and keep doing it. Keep outranking your possibilities. Okay. Next is a pleasing personality. You got to be pleasing. Now, this is what I tell people. It says here, personality is the sum of total of one's mental, spiritual, and physical traits and habits that distinguish one from the other. It's the factor that determines one is disliked or liked. Now, here's what I want to say about pleasing. My wife has a pleasing personality. But she can also flip the switch if you mess with the money. She's a gangster. You talk about a gangster?
Really?
It's the truth. I'm telling the truth. He's gonna cut you. Don't mess with her money. She's sweet as she can be, a little Southern girl, but don't mess with her money. She'll cut you. All right, next one is personal initiative. You got to take action. There's going to be time when nothing happened. The phones aren't ringing. You got to go out and take some action. You got to call somebody. You got to get in front of an audience. You got to hustle. We're on our way to St. Martin, and we go there once a year to get some rest. But we're in a hustle mode right now. We got to generate some dollars to start this publishing company and this record company. We got to generate some dollars. So I've been on the phone today, and yesterday calling people in St. Martin, say, I'm coming. I usually come and camp out on the beach, but this week I am not doing that. I am coming ready to hustle. I already got 2 speaking engagements. All right, and so we said, we hustling. They said, well, we don't have big budget. I say, you put people in the room. I'm bringing my books. Let's make something happen. Okay.
Is that Speak to Sell? Is that a different model?
Well, that's a different model. It's called Speak to Sell. That's a different model. Now, I take a lot of models. I got a church model. We're gonna take a offering. I got a Speak to Sell model. We gonna sell. I got another model where they can give me a check. All right, I just want to get the money into the bank. You know what I'm saying?
You got to bring the money home to me.
That's right. Because personal initiative. You got to take action. Take action every day. Then number 7, positive mental attitude. That's big. Positive mental attitude. You got to have a positive mental attitude because life is going to knock you down.
Say it again.
Come on, life is going to test you. It's going to hit you. It's going to knock you down. And that's when you got to have a positive mental attitude to get back up. And it'll knock you down again. Get back up again. It's like when I was a little boy, my mama bought us one of those punching bags that had the weighted base. You know the ones I'm talking about? And had a smiley face like this. And you hit it and it bounced back up. And you hit it and bounced back up. My brother and I tried to knock it down and keep it down, but it kept bouncing back up. So one day we left it alone. But we came back up on it a couple days later when it wasn't looking. And we ran up behind it. And with everything we had, we bam, hit it. But it bounced back up. That's how you got to be about life. Life is going to hit you, but bounce back up. It's going to hit you again, bounce back up. And keep bouncing back up and keep bouncing back up. And eventually, life will leave you alone and go find a wimp it can knock down and keep down. But when you least expect it, life is going to come up on your blind side and hit you with something that's going to try and knock the wind out of you. But you got to bounce back up. In 2003, it knocked the wind out of both of us. And lost my mother, my brother, and my father-in-law, her dad, in 30 days. But we bounced back. We eulogized them. We said, this ain't it. You may try and keep me down, but you'll never keep me down because you never shut me up. Until my time goes, I'm going to keep talking and telling people that it's possible to live their dreams. All right, positive mental attitude. Next was enthusiasm, and that's the one that I'm on with Jeffrey Gitomer and Ed Foreman. It's awesome, awesome. Enthusiasm is in theos, the God within. It's an intense emotion. It's faith in action. It's a burning desire. It comes from within. It radiates outside. It thoughts inside and radiates outside. So we encourage self-discipline. I got to get through these. I know our time is going. Self-discipline. If you cannot control your thoughts, you cannot control your direction and your future. Self-discipline, you got to be a master of your thoughts because stuff is going to happen. And Napoleon Hill said it like this. No, Norman Vincent Peale said it like this. Said, birds will fly over your head. Negative birds will fly over your head. Negative thoughts. But you can't keep them from flying over your head, but you can keep them from building a nest. Don't let them build a nest in your brain. So just say, I must be self-disciplined. My wife is the most self-disciplined person I know. We can get in.
That is, I think, fear. I know what I don't want, so I've got to chase it down.
Well, let me tell you what I mean by that. Let me tell them what you mean.
Okay.
We can come in from an event on the road, come in from Dubai or somewhere, get in at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I don't care what time we get in. At 5:30, she's going to be at the gym. I don't care what time it is. She's up. She's going to make herself get up and go. Sometimes she does it with no sleep. 5:30, she's at the gym. Every day. Every day.
I'm afraid of the other consequences. I was simply going to add that Without self-discipline, how do you become successful in a business that is totally dependent upon you? You've got to be able to do those things that you don't want to do. And there are many things daily that I don't want to do related to the business, the detail.
All right, look, before we go, and I don't want to lose this. Look,
Okay.
I would say this, two things. One, I told you to go to youcanspeaknow.com. Go and just check that out. Here's the Napoleon Hill 17 principles. We've gotten through a few of them, but they're profound principles. This was created by Phil Taylor. I don't think you can even buy it on the Nightingale Conant. I don't think they have it on their site. I bought a bunch of them. So I got some of these left, and they are $209 on the when they were on the Napoleon Hill site or the Nightingale Conant. They're $199 on my site. If you go to williejolly.com/17, williejolly.com/17. We got, I think, 3 or 4 of them left, Dee.
Yes.
But we can get some more if we run out. But I think we got 3 or 4 of them left. But I'm gonna give you that. Plus, I'm gonna throw in that interview I did with Joe Dudley on my XM show. It's an hour of him talking about how Think and Grow Rich made him a multimillionaire and how he has implemented those principles. So williejolly.com/17, and you order that, and we'll give you this, and we're going to give you the Joe Dudley. And my spirit just told me to give him one more thing. I'm going to throw in my $60 DVD from $1 Million Roundtable. Now, I know y'all didn't plan on that, D. I want to get that to you. All right. So and then D, and behind you, what's behind you, D, on the corner? Is that the speaking tips for speaking success?
That was, yes.
All right. So that's for somebody who might want to go to the next level if they want to go to the next level after You Can Speak Now, that's the tips for speaking success. It's me.
New packaging that includes my back office guy.
Wow.
Okay, that's incredible, because Les Brown, every time he gets a new assistant, he calls and says, can D train her, can D teach her? So that's on our speaking page, I believe. I don't know where is that. I don't have these things. I have not planned. I'm just going with it. I have no plan. williejolly.com/speaking, I think, and I don't know what it is. Let me see where that takes you. Yeah, no, that's our speaking course at church. That's our church speaking course. That's not it. So I don't know where it is. Speaking stuff. I don't know.
If someone wants to know, if they can just send an email, put speak in it, or they can call us. That is not a problem. We will take care of them. Whatever they need.
Oh, okay, that'll work. Whatever they need, we'll do it. Oh, it's on that speaking page. I think it's on the speaking page.
You can speak now.
I think you can get it on there as well. All right. Yeah, that's it. You can get on that. So williejolly.com/speaking basics. williejolly.com/speaking basics. All right. So bam, we're done. All right. Question.
Here I come.
All right.
Let me show my face here. Let me see. So I'm busy writing. You're giving us all these wonderful things. I'm up here just typing away.
All right.
Guys, you are awesome. It feels so good. Thank you. I don't have to thank you because you were here before I was, for just loving Black NSA and just being so transparent and sharing all of these incredible pearls of wisdom. And I think you made us feel like we can take what we've been studying together collectively, as a community group, and just and this really one of the goals of this particular mastermind was to connect us. We see each other every year at the conference, but we needed to connect even more. PW is on fire, Power Women. Cigar Peg's always on fire, but we needed Black NSA to be on fire, and we are now. And so thank you for caring about us and pouring into us. Guys, if you have any final questions for these amazing people, let us know. Put it in there. I just typed in the final thing you said, which was williejolly.com/speaking basics right there. By the way, put this on your calendar if you can. We are staying a day over. The conference is that Tuesday from 9 to 1 is going to be the mastermind meeting from 9 to 1, all the mastermind members, and we'll get some new ones, of course, at the conference. And then from 3 to 5 p.m., because we've got a Black NSA suite, we've taken it to the next level, from 2 to 5, we're going to do Black NSA planning session. And that's just for any and everyone that wants to be a part of, you know, the next season of Black NSA. What does that look like? What does that mean? I'm going to raise my hand and make this happen. And then from 5 to 8, or I'm sorry, 6 to 8, the executive leadership team along with board of advisors. So I know you guys are busy, but if you can work that in, that's the day after the conference. We'd love to have you there.
Great, 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 great. By the way, just so I know I said it offline, but I'm going to say it online. You sure look good, girl.
Well, you know what? Y'all need to help us just to get a man. No.
We're going to work on that. We're working on that, because I'm telling you, you look good. Look good.
Thank you very much.
Right. So let's see. Can't find the book. It's not a book, Miss Morris. It's not a book. The book is in, that Dee was talking about, is in the speaking base, the tips for speaking success. So it's part of, you know, it's not extra. She puts it in the package with tips for speaking success. It's
in the package with the CDs and DVDs.
So it's all one package. Okay, there you go.
Did I forget anything in there? Because I'm trying
Dee, somebody said they didn't see the fingernail. Show them one more time how crazy it is.
That is cool, Dee.
Is that crazy or what? I mean, that's crazy.
I like that. As long as they're all gel, I can do it.
My wife is quite a character.
And guys, it's so true. Dee is in working out. Here's a little tip. If you go to any of the NSA conferences, you go to the gym, you never know who you may be working out beside. I worked out beside, what's his name? I can't think right now because my head is blank because y'all done blew it away. Just in the gym, and we had that time to get to know each other. So Dee is up there, y'all.
Let me just give you a quick story, and I'll tell you, and then I'll let y'all go. My book, An Attitude of Excellence, will be out early next year with a publisher. It's been only internal. We've sold thousands of copies internally, but we're going to send it now, take it externally. And the foreword was written by Dr. Stephen Covey. And how I got that was he and I were on a program together in Sydney, Australia. And I went up to his assistant and said, I have this book. I thought it would be great for him to maybe give me a quote. She said, no. I said, but it's a really good book. And then, no, he doesn't do that anymore. I said, and she wouldn't give me the time of day. I mean, no, all she could say was no. So that evening I went to the gym to work out. I'm sitting on a bike, and who gets on the bike next to me but Dr. Stephen Covey? And we end up talking for an hour. Talked about being married. He had been married a long time. I was married a long time. We both had children. He had children. He knew Gladys Knight. I knew Gladys Knight. And we became friends. And I told him, look, at the end I said, look, I've got this book. And I really would like, he said, send it to me. And he wrote me the most sterling, incredible foreword of any forewords I've ever had. And that was about 9 months before he died. So I'm so grateful. You don't know where you're gonna get, where God's gonna bless you, but you be prepared, and you be excellent, and you always go the extra mile, and you be kind to people, and you bless folks, and it comes back. Amen.
Amen.
Absolutely. We follow your lead. We appreciate everything you're doing in the industry, and that's why all of us need to be an influence, because Willie will run up to you, hug you,
yep,
and pour into you.
Yes, indeed.
You to folks like crazy. So we thank you for agreeing to talk to us, and make sure you guys watch the Rise to Fame, where Dr. Willie Jolly gets into his whole speaking enterprise. But thank you tonight for getting into the principles, and we appreciate your time, and we're going to let you guys go, and we guys will see you in the Mastermind Facebook.
What happened to your numbers?
Huh?
What happened to the numbers to pick?
Oh, thank you. I almost forgot. Thank you. Dee, this is why your details, my dear. So we need 3 numbers. No cheating, guys. No putting numbers in there. From 1 to 21, 3 numbers, because you're going to do something big for 3 Black NSAers. Go for it.
All right, Dee, what you want to say?
Can
you
I
go
just
first.
say it? You want me to put it in the block or what?
Huh?
Really?
No, you go ahead. Do we just say it?
Yeah, just say it.
All right, go ahead and say it.
3, 11, and 20.
3, 11, and 20. Woo! Now, do y'all want to know who the winners are? Do I have to look it up? Do y'all want to give me a...
Yeah, I want to know.
Okay,
What?
let me tell you right now. Black NSA has its own Chrome thing. So say something inspiring while I'm looking it up, guys. Say something.
All right. Well, here's what inspiring. I want y'all to remember this quote that I use it. I've been using it for over 25 years. Follow your dream. Wherever it leads, don't be distracted by less worthy needs. Shelter it, nourish it, help it to grow. Hold your dreams deep, down deep where dreams grow. Follow your dream, pursue it with haste. Life is too precious, too fleeting to waste. Be faithful, be loyal, and all the day through, the dream that you follow will keep coming true. I want to encourage you to have faith. Go to my faith site. Y'all know I've got a doctorate in ministry, and I want to minister to folks. So go to jollygoodnews.org, not .com, but .org. jollygoodnews.org. We're going to be doing a lot of things on that site over the next few months that's going to blow it up globally. So jollygoodnews.org. Second, know that we got a podcast now that you can get my XM shows, whether it's Wally Amos, Bob Johnson, Willie Gary, Les Brown, Dennis Kimbrough, just great interviews on my XM show. So get those. And then finally is that we want you to get the podcast, go get the faith site, and then finally we want you to just to make a difference in the lives of young people, make a difference in the lives of others by pouring into them. The more you give, the more you get. The more you put in, the more it comes out. So just be a blessing to others. It will come in a way that you might not expect. But that's my philosophy on life, to pour into others, to be a blessing, and keep doing it no matter what.
All right.
And I'm married well. I'm married well, folks. Married well.
Guys, go ahead and announce the winners. I'm putting them right here in the chat room. I said winner R. Who's that name? Go ahead and announce them because you got some folks on the phone.
Carol Copeland Thomas.
Woo-hoo!
I love that woman.
And there was someone before her that's right after the numbers.
I thought it was Robert. Was it Robert?
No, let me try to give. No, it says 3-11-20 winner R.
Yes, Robert. So Robert said yes, Robert.
Robert did not. I don't know if he won. I haven't even gotten to the last one. Y'all are making me laugh. Last number 20, Shabana was the first winner. And let's see who number 20 is. Number 20, Robert's just going to claim it. I don't know. Let me see. Number 20 is Gerald Leonard.
Hey, my man, the bass man, the bass man, the bass man.
See?
Robert's funny. That's my code name.
Chapter.
That's right. He's great.
And there you go. Those are our winners. They're going to get something I think that's really valuable. We're going to give them a visibility opportunity. So
great. Well, God bless everybody. Now here, everybody's a winner though in my book. So go get the free ebooks and stuff on my gift page, williejolly.com/gift. Everybody got access. Some of my music, XM shows, Bob Johnson interview is worth everything. How he started BET with nothing and became America's first black billionaire. It's awesome. Him telling how he did it and how you can do it. Wally Famous interview is on there. So go get those. Get some of my music. Get the ebooks, and that's just a blessing to everybody.
They want the 17 principles, honey, which was the purpose of this call.
Oh yeah, williejolly.com/17. You'll get the 17 principles package. You'll get all 17 CDs, 53 thought leaders. All of them, you know, Nito and everybody. You'll also get, I'm going to throw in the interview with Joe Dudley from XM, which is unbelievable. And then I just decided tonight to throw in a copy of my my
$1 Million Roundtable.
Yep, which is a $60 CD on their website. So it's all $199. I think that's $209 plus. That's what I don't know how much. It's about $300 worth of stuff for $199. So hey. Just enjoy yourself. Get the tips for speaking success on that speaking basics. I just want to be a blessing to others and pour into others because there's so many people have poured into me. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on IG. Follow me on LinkedIn. We're doing a lot of stuff to try and blow.
Periscope. I've seen you over there.
Periscope. That's right. I'll be doing a lot of more on a weekly message, a faith-based message on Periscope and Facebook coming real soon.
Wow. And by the way, someone says they can't find the book.
That book is that she's looking for the book that D held up.
Oh, okay.
And that book's in his tips for speaking success package. It's thrown in. It's a gift.
Okay.
All right, you can. We don't even sell it separately. We just throw it in.
So we will. We're working on some other programming. So if you have an interest, you can call and talk to me, and I can tell you what's in the book, give you a sample. It's a guide to use to organize your back office. That's what it is.
That's a must-have, guys.
Last but not least, I always talk about my babies.
Oh, wow. What are you doing?
Setback is a setup.
Willie, you need to know this. Every time someone says a setback is a setup for a comeback, I always say, you know who said that? Dr. Willie Jolly.
That's right. He wrote the book, and it only takes a minute to change your life. Those are my babies. My books are my babies. Turn setbacks into greenbacks. All of those things are my babies. So I don't go anywhere without them. I don't go anywhere without them. They go with me. They like my cheering.
In the luggage.
In the luggage. They go with me.
Keep doing you. Keep making a difference. Keep changing the world. Black NSA, always your biggest fan, your family. And guys, have a nice evening and get some rest in St. Martin.
Thank you.
All right. Love y'all. God bless you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.